So today we're going to be playing in this Yaki straight lace wig, courtesy of Best Lace Wig. Now what's so awesome is they already bleached the knots for you. It comes with 3 combs in the front, 1 in the back, adjustable straps, and they've even added an elastic band that actually hugs my head. Now I went ahead off camera and cut off the back portion of the lace just because I won't be able to reach that once the wig is on my head. Now we're going to go ahead and customize the hairline. I always recommend you customize your hairline to your liking. Now 2 key tips to a flawless hairline when customizing it yourself is a nice fresh pair of tweezers that work very crisp, which mine are so dull. I am so sorry you guys, it does not work well when your tweezers are dull. Also, I like to spray down my hairline. Some people prefer a dry hairline. I personally feel like I can see better when the hairline is wet, and I just kind of do the plug, skip a space, plug, skip a space method. You guys see, this is what I always do, and this kind of is just like my safety net, basically because it is the fastest way to tweeze in my opinion without over tweezing or creating any bald spots. You know, I like to tweeze what I would consider to be the baby hair, where I basically section out the baby hair and I tweeze behind that, and then I tweeze one more time, another row going back, and then I also sometimes will tweeze the very front hairline. Today I did all 3 sections, and you guys can kind of see how it's creating that indentation where it doesn't look too boxy. Always check your work by using either a comb or a brush to kind of brush backwards to see if any extra hair is coming out in spaces that you think, like maybe the hair, you plucked it but it's still kind of sitting there, so it seems like it's hair there and it's not. So always take your time, you know, check your work as you go along and see your progress for what it is, and you know, don't feel so pressed to have the perfect hairline right away. You'd rather underpluck than to overpluck, because you can always go back and pluck a little bit more on a day or 2 later, opposed to overplucking and it just being over for you. Again, this one came with the knots already pre-bleached. That's kind of a tongue twister. So I definitely was excited about that. Still, I do recommend that you go in and wash or co-wash your lace. I did not in this case, but it definitely is much more sanitary to wash all of your wigs when you receive them. You can kind of see here, I'm not thinning out the hairline too much to make it too thin, yet I am cutting out all of that boxy appearance and making it look a little bit more flush, you know, for my hairline. Also, I did the bald cap method in a previous tutorial. I'll have that link down below, but this is always going to help you to have a more flush and flawless hairline when it's all said and done. Now, I did trim down what I would consider my personal baby hair. I did a generous amount and I did keep it pretty long. Normally when the wig is already on my hair and I do this step, I would do a thinner amount of baby hair and I would cut it probably half as long as I cut it. So that is just a tip. I did go back in after this video and fix it a little bit, because the baby hair was definitely way too long and it created or made it seem like it was like way too thick, if that made sense. As always, I use my Got To Be Glue's Freeze Spray as my bonding agent. I just apply 1 layer across my entire forehead, including my sideburns. I let it get tacky for about 15 seconds and then I apply the lace on top. I use the rat tail comb to go ahead and press it in any space that feels like it needs a little bit more of that spray to help lay or hold the wig in place. I go ahead and do it, and there is Bay. He has an obsession with ears, so I am working and he is playing with my ears. Yes, crazy. So now I'm going to go ahead and swoop the baby hair. I love foam lotion. It is my favorite method of edge control. It's not greasy and it actually slicks the hair down. You have to make sure you get the right one. The one I use is listed in the description bar and it is bomb. My favorite by far. And I kind of just swoop. Again, don't feel so pressed to get it right the first time. My baby hair here is definitely very baby hairish and very full. So I did again go in after the fact and switch it up so it's not the same appearance now, because I am still wearing this wig 3 days later. So I tried something different. Normally I will just leave the baby hair like pressed and hanging, but I wanted to do the you know, like swoops on the baby hair as well. I've done this before off camera, but I don't think I've ever done this specifically on my YouTube channel. So I go ahead and I swoop it and then I trim off any excess and then re-swoop it. Hopefully that makes any sense. Now I'm going ahead and styling. I did decide that I wanted to do twisties, but as you guys can see, I'm not really doing twisties. Like, I'm twisting, but it's not twisting, if that makes any sense. I kind of was a little bit lazy But because this hair had a nice density, it didn't work out because it was a little bit too puffy and you couldn't see your parting, so it just looked a little bit weird. So I wish I would have just went ahead and took my time and recreated that, because that is the look I wanted. But I ended up with this really nice goddess braid, and I loved this even more, so it worked out for me. Off camera, I went ahead and straightened out the hair and added some hair jewels, and I came up with a gorgeous look. Okay, my camera died, but we're back. As I was saying, this is the packaging. Oops. For WOWEBONY, they have a really cool, little brochure with all the information on their company. And then, of course, they have their own custom tissue paper. So it's wrapped really nice when you actually receive it. They also sent over some wig caps and an elastic band with instructions on how to use it. So that's pretty cool. I pulled up the specs for you guys, but this wig is 22 inches. It is 180% density. It's virgin Brazilian hair, or Brazilian virgin hair. They sent her over in a natural color, and it is definitely a Yaki texture. Now, when I first pulled her out, I didn't even notice that was a Yaki, but whenever I installed her in my head and I started running my fingers through her for real, I realized the texture is, or feels like a Yaki texture. But what's really cool about it is it still is straight, and really to the eye, it kind of reminds you of like pressed African American hair without being too big. It just is like a silk press on African American hair. You more so feel the Yaki texture to the touch, but you may not even realize it's Yaki texture when you look at it. I love that it's a 360, so I definitely will be able to put her up into high ponytail and bun. Excuse this little dip right here. I have two braids in my real hair and it's not flat, but I'm going to fix that probably either tomorrow or Thursday. And yeah, absolutely love this look. What made it so easy and so perfect was that it came with an elastic band and the knots came bleached. Two of the most questions I get are, I bleached my knots and it went wrong. How do I fix it? And it's almost like I really don't know because I'm not there to see. So if you're not experienced with customizing your wigs yourself, as far as adding your elastic band or bleaching your knots, it would be a great suggestion to go to WOWEBONY's website and purchase one of these wigs. They have other options if you don't want straight, or if you don't want Yaki texture, or if you just don't want it this long. Also, I loved how this wig actually fit my head. The elastic band actually fit me, and on top of that, the wig laid flat and fit me as well. A very rare combo, because most wigs, the elastic, when it comes with an elastic band, never ever fits. Also, I picked these little jewels up from my local beauty supply store. They were $3.99 and it came with 6. And they're just these little cute little rhinestone looking jewels. I thought, put something in there to set it off, but it definitely wasn't needed. Normally, I would use my little gold ones that clamp in, like for braids. But this kind of gives a more sassy, classy vibe, I think. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out WOWEBONY. A link to this wig and all the description on everything that I received is listed in the description bar. Also, I've left a detailed list of everything I use to style my wig in the description bar, including like my mannequin head and the tripod and everything like that, because I do get a lot of questions on stuff like that, my flat iron. All that usually is listed in the description bar, so make sure you guys check that out as well. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share with your friends. Comments are still turned off on my channel. I know a lot of you are still confused. This is a beauty channel slash family channel because I do post vlogs and pregnancy updates and things like that. So being that we do family videos here, YouTube did shut us down temporarily as far as the comments goes. So I am patiently waiting for them to turn them back on. It has a lot to do with child exploitation, predators coming to YouTube to find content, which is so disgusting. So I do support YouTube in their efforts to crack down on that by any means, but I am ready for the comments to come back because I always want to know you guys' thoughts. If you want to talk to me or communicate with me, you can definitely reach out to me on Instagram. I post there regularly. I'm trying to start posting there more often. So yeah, reach out to me there for now, and I will definitely be the first to let you guys know when my comments are back. I'm sure you guys will see it anyways. But yeah, see you guys in the next one.